She rejected you. You accepted it. You walked away. And then, weeks later, maybe months, she reappeared. A text. A follow. A hey, how have you been? Most men think that's luck. Or fate. Or love finally finding its way back. It's none of those things. What actually happened is colder, more predictable, and, once you understand it, far more useful than any romantic story you've been told. Let's start with what didn't bring her back. Not your persistence. Not waiting. Not the paragraph you almost sent at 2 a.m. but deleted. Not the version of you that was still orbiting her, hoping she'd notice. Researchers at Columbia University studying post-rejection behavior found something that genuinely surprised them. When they tracked re-engagement patterns, why someone who said no later became interested, the answer wasn't emotion. It wasn't regret. It wasn't love winning in the end. It was contrast. She didn't come back to the man she remembered. She came back because the man she remembered no longer seemed to exist. That's the shift. Not strategy. Identity. Here's the uncomfortable truth hiding inside that finding. The moment you received that rejection, you had two paths. Path one, you managed the pain. You stayed close. You stayed available. You kept yourself in her peripheral vision, hoping proximity would eventually turn into reconsideration. Path two, something quietly broke open in you. Not dramatically. No announcement. You just stopped waiting for her verdict to tell you who you were. And you started building. The men on path one got forgotten. The men on path two got a text. Stanford researchers studying scarcity and perceived value found that withdrawal of attention increases desirability at a measurable, predictable rate. But this is the part that makes it real. Only when the withdrawal is genuine. The brain is not fooled by performance. You cannot fake indifference convincingly enough to trigger this. She will feel the difference between a man who is pretending not to care and a man who genuinely has somewhere else to be. The real version only comes from one place. A man who has actually redirected his energy into something worth building. So the question isn't how do I seem less available? The question is, what am I building that's worth being unavailable for? This is where stoicism stops being philosophy and becomes strategy. Real strategy, not manipulation. Epictetus didn't know about dating apps. Marcus Aurelius never wrote about re-engagement psychology. But both of them understood something 2,000 years before the research confirmed it. You cannot control another person's perception of you. You can only control who you become while they're not watching. And the man who becomes undeniably different, not louder, not more aggressive, just more himself, that man creates a problem in her mind she didn't expect to have. Because the human brain cannot leave an unsolved equation alone. Here's the warning you actually need. The temptation is to use all of this as a tactic, to manufacture distance, to schedule your disappearance, to check her profile in private while performing growth in public. That's not stoicism. That's theater. And it will collapse the moment she gets close enough to notice the man behind the curtain hasn't actually changed. Real detachment isn't a move you make. It's the residue of genuinely investing in something bigger than her opinion of you. She came back because you stopped auditioning. Because somewhere in the quiet aftermath of rejection, you made a decision, no announcement, no audience, to build a life that doesn't need her approval to feel complete. And that version of you? She'd never seen him before. That's not luck. That's architecture.